Well, hey there, everybody. I know it's been a couple of weeks since the last time I did this Boneyard, whatever it is, video cast. And I got a question after the last one from Jason, one of the viewers of these, asking, how do we know that Tyrannosaurus rex had fluff and fuzz? This is something that I've written about quite a bit. I've been trying to kind of champion the cause of fuzzy dinosaurs in the movies, at least, if not in other aspects of pop culture. But what's the actual evidence for it? I mean, usually when we see Tyrannosaurus rex on screen, it looks something like this. This is the Carnegie Safari dinosaur. It's a fine-looking model, but it's a scaly, kind of almost elephant-skinned dinosaur. And this is the sort of dinosaur you're going to see in Jurassic World and just about any other movie that a Tyrannosaur is in. Dinosaur Island is the exception, not the old kind of porny one, the recent one, the one for kids that came out that actually has fluffy dinosaurs in it. But is that version right? Is that version better than this, or the one that you see in Jurassic World? I'm going to quickly walk you through the evidence. So we don't have actual good information about what the skin or the other kind of body covering of Tyrannosaurus rex look like. There's been some people who say they have skin impressions from these dinosaurs. For whatever reason, they haven't published them. I really wish they would. It would seem like a pretty big deal if you have what you think is Tyrannosaurus rex skin to actually get that described. But until it is, we can't really use that. So for Tyrannosaurus rex itself right now, it's kind of a mystery, but we can look to its closest relatives. So Tyrannosaurus rex itself was part of a larger group of predatory dinosaurs called Tyrannosauroids. There's all this kind of like stacked nomenclature. And so you have Tyrannosauroids, and within those you have the Tyrannosaurids, and then you have the Tyrannosaurines. But the wider group that we just call Tyrannosaurs for in general, are the Tyrannosauroids. And in 2004, Zhu Zheng and a bunch of other scientists named a little Tyrannosauroid from about 125 million years ago named Dilong. And this was kind of like a raptor-like Tyrannosaur. This is back when many Tyrannosaurs are still relatively small. This is only about a 6-foot-long animal or so. But along with the bones, were preserved these little filaments, dinofuzz, this kind of body covering that we see with other feathery dinosaurs like Sinosauropteryx, this very rudimentary early version of protofeathers. So that's pretty cool. So we got at least one little Tyrannosaur, an archaic one, with fluff and fuzz. But a lot of people, even at the time, were saying, okay, you got a Tyrannosaur with fluff. That would insulate the body. Once you get to larger body size, it would cause the dinosaurs to overheat. So as the Tyrannosaurs got larger and larger, they would lose them. Well, in 2012, Zhu Jing, again, along with some other researchers, named another Tyrannosaur, Yutyrannus, also from China, also about 125 million years old, but this one was about 30 feet long or so. So this is getting towards Tyrannosaurus rex size. The largest Tyrannosaurus rex we know of is about 40 feet long. Maybe they got a little bit bigger, but 30 feet, 40 feet, you're getting the same super large predator size class. And it was covered, it seemed, from head to tail in rudimentary fluff and fuzz. Now, some people pointed out that this might have been because it was living in a slightly cooler environment. It could have used that insulation. We need to do some more paleoenvironmental reconstruction, but at least shows that large tyrannosaurs, at least, were capable of having this kind of body covering. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that Tyrannosaurus rex is fluffy as a chicken. Large dinosaurs, especially if they're living in hot environments, maybe they're like elephants and rhinos living today. They still have hairs on them. It's just not covering the entire body. There's even a hypothesis that maybe having sort of sparse, hairy body covering or filament-like body covering can wick away heat from the body, so there might actually be an advantage to being only slightly fuzzy. Maybe eventually somebody will find direct evidence of how much fuzz and how much scales a Tyrannosaur had, or at least Tyrannosaurus rex had. But for now, we've got at least 2 Tyrannosaurs of varying body sizes with rudimentary protofeathers on them. So even if we don't have it for Tyrannosaurus rex itself, using basically evolutionary logic, knowing that you've got these early Tyrannosaurs, and also as you move out from Tyrannosaurs and the wider group of dinosaurs to which they belong, called the Coelurosaurs, every lineage of those, the Therizinosaurs, the ostrich mimic dinosaurs called the Ornithomimids, raptors, modern birds are kind of Coelurosaur, every lineage, along with the ones I just named, along with a few others, have some kind of feathery body covering them. So this suggests it was a common feature for the group. So if Tyrannosaurus rex didn't have fuzz, then it would have lost it due to some other mechanism. Like I said, possibly it got too big and it needed to shed heat in a different way, so that feather covering got sparse. But at least right now, putting scales and feathers on a Tyrannosaur is just as good a hypothesis as having it be entirely entirely scaly. I said scary because they are kind of scary. But yeah, we can have fuzzy Tyrannosaurus rex if we want to. Now, the question will be whether we get to see that in the future Jurassic Park movie. I'm kind of doubtful, but I'm keeping my hopes. So if you have more questions, leave them in the YouTube comments. Find me on Twitter. Do whatever you have to. I'm happy to answer them on here. And until next time, please stay fossiliferous.